In a world filled with things on the internet, two men, one podcast, two pores.
Yo. If I ever had a tumbling beat, this is what I do. I would shout out Missy Elliott and Bubba too. Even Magoo, I'm used to letting my anger overpower my good mood. Now I'm the painter and the
You ready?
You ready?
Now I am. All right, let's go. Can we do the low thing, or you good?
Yeah. A little lower, please. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Two Poor Podcast.
Yes.
I am your host, Jason Bridwell, and my lovely co-host,
Yeah.
James Bass.
Yeah. Tits McGee is on vacation. I am
Turd
James
Ferguson
Bass.
is out of here. So
Yeah.
we are taking over for the 6 o'clock spot. No, we are here recording another episode off-site and in a nondescript, undisclosed location.
Yeah.
Because we got a lot of stuff to talk about.
We
a lot
do.
of stuff to talk about. But before we do that, we want to make sure we give a shout out to our sponsor, Blue Diamond Pest Control, BlueDiamondPC.net.
Jeff Maddox.
Jeff Maddox. Call Jeff Maddox and the guys and girls over at Blue Diamond for all your pest control needs at 704-701-0876 if you're in the greater Charlotte area.
Right.
Upstate South Carolina, he can take care of you there too.
Get rid of the creepy crawly things, right?
Everything, business, residential, commercial, he's there for you. Give him a shout and make sure to mention your Two Poor Podcast discounts.
Discount, big discount,
Big discount.
So what? I mean, what are we doing, man? What are we doing today?
Man, we're gonna do an interesting topic, and we're gonna get to that here in just a second, man, because
Right.
this is one that we are both excited about doing.
I believe so.
It's
We've
gonna
been
be-
doing this for the better of 30
years. Yeah. We have been
Yeah.
doing what we're gonna do. We're gonna fight live on camera.
Yeah.
Hold up. You gotta wait. You gotta wait for
Little
it. though.
verbal jousting, if you will, right?
Little verbal jousting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we as far as shout outs, do you got any shout outs? I mean, I know we normally give some.
Man, just the norm to my people, my lovely family, my just everybody that's listening, everybody's subscribing. Obviously, that's awesome. But
Yeah.
my big bro, my sister, everybody. Everybody.
Everybody, yeah, family first and foremost, right?
Right.
So,
You know?
yeah, definitely. I mean, first and foremost, we're talking about family. Our newborn son coming. We're a little bit away. You know what I mean?
It's not
Adding
far
one more-
away.
adding one more to the troop. So little Micah's coming. Hopefully he stays in there for another.
He's going to come
another
out.
2 months.
He's going to come out with a basketball and research utensils.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So
I'm looking forward to seeing the young chap.
So it's funny. We do affirmations. We don't do it as regularly as we should, but we do it a couple of times a week where I'm
Right.
basically saying affirmations to her belly. And by the way he's kicking, I think he's going to kick better than his older brother.
Oh, that's dirty. I don't think anybody's going to kick better than Christian. Christian, I'm on your side here. man.
I love Christian though. And we got more college stuff coming on. There's a lot of stuff going on with our kids, man. Life is super busy right now.
Dude, it's
super-
insane.
but it's beautiful.
My twins are going to be 18. 18.
That's crazy.
I don't even know what else to say after that. I don't even want to do this podcast. 18.
He
know?
needs some therapy for that. So if you got a good therapist,
Yeah,
maybe you
and
can
even-
sponsor us too.
Even some of the funny, little things like, I'm going to be 18 soon and I could do what I want, you know?
Oh, really?
Yeah. And in your head, you're like, all right, well, good. Well, leave your cell phone here, leave everything.
Yeah.
But then on the other hand, I'm going to
Yeah.
be at the door crying like a little baby.
Oh, no,
you know?
don't go. Oh,
know?
what is it? The Kenny Chesney song? Is it Kenny Chesney? There Goes My Life.
I don't listen to country music. No
Have you not
offense.
heard the song?
Except for Bart Lattimore.
Dude, yeah. And Bart's going to the Super Bowl. Did you see that?
Is he
He's-
singing at the Super Bowl?
No. But he's on the way to the Super Bowl. They're
on.
paying for them to go. And
Good, man. Enjoy yourself, Bart. Be safe.
Huge promotional. So shout out to Bart. No, There Goes My Life. You need to listen to that song. Well, I don't know. You'll cry.
I probably will cry.
You cry.
That's why I don't listen to country music, right? All it does is just make you feel horrible.
But that's basically what it is. It's a dad and his little girl, and she's young, and then she's going off to college.
Okay, well, let's not talk about that now.
Anyways,
Let's get past
all right,
this.
you'll be okay. You'll be okay. All right. So for this episode, we're bringing a new bourbon on to the show. We are. We've done some dealer's choice.
Right.
We've gone back to some old favorites. This one is a new one for us.
A new one.
What are we going to do, James?
We're doing Penelope, man. We're doing Penelope Architect.
So we're going back to Penelope, which we've done. We did the white label.
The white label.
Right. And I forgot the name. I forgot the actual name of
I don't know
the signature series, I think it was, or something like that. But
I
this,
didn't drink all, the first month of the year. So
I know you did a dry January. I'm proud of you.
but
I
ever
don't
since then,
do
it's
too much
been- it's
drinking.
been
To,
fun.
yeah,
Sean, we
been a
good with leaving
binge.
it here, bud?
it's been a booze fest ever since. But no, this is a new one. Man, I tell you what, we loved the other Penelope that we
Dude,
tried.
it's so smooth. So smooth.
So smooth.
It definitely a go-to deal. What's funny about us even talking about bourbon, though, to go back to one of the previous episodes we've done of the taste test.
Mm-hmm.
Again, this is a disclaimer, guys. We just like having sips of bourbon and talking about life.
Yeah. Well, and also, when you get them in front of you and you don't know what they are and they're not on ice, they're neat. Man, it's tough.
Yes.
It's tough, and
Yeah.
we screwed the pooch on
Yeah,
that.
we were one
one
for
of
four.
four, both of us.
Yeah.
We sucked royally on that.
However, it was fun. It's a good time.
It was great. It was
a good
great.
time.
Absolutely great. So, if we remember correctly, on the Penelope brand was a husband and wife to celebrate
Their daughter.
birth of their daughter,
Penelope.
Yeah, Penny.
Penny.
I keep going back to the show Lost, where one of the characters on there, was Penelope.
Yeah,
And,
I didn't watch that. I remember
right.
seeing like a 7-year-old girl watch it, and This Is 40, that movie. I didn't know grown-ups watched it. Whatever, not a big deal. What are we doing?
This guy. I know. Where's your sound effects with that lame joke? Yeah, there you go. That'll work. But this is the Architect series. So this one is 104 proof.
Oof.
Now,
Oof.
I know a little bit stronger
Oof.
than the white series, the signature series, or whatever that was.
That was in the 80s, the other one. Yeah,
No, it was. Yeah,
Okay.
well, I think it was right
smooth,
at 90.
smooth.
Right at 90. And I look at the color, man. This thing is
Yeah.
beautiful. It's
It
a
really is.
beautiful color. Now, one of the things that we talked about doing for the listeners out there too is making sure we write down or talk about the MSRP for these bottles.
Oh, so the cost.
So you know where you're going to be at. Now, in some states like South Carolina, everything is independent. So you could go into a store and get it for $80, or you get it for $40 or $20 or whatever. But MSRP is $65 on this bottle.
$65.
So it's a little bit on the pricier side for an everyday drinker, but man, I'm thinking this one's going to be great. It's got a good dark walnut color. This is French oak casks where they aged this in.
Okay.
So I'm thinking it's going to give a little bit sweeter
other
flavor.
The other one we did was like 7 years, right? Penelope, the white label. What is this? Is this all? Are they all the same?
I don't know the age of this one right here, but I think a lot of their stuff's anywhere in that 4 to 10 range. So you're going to get different, from different barrels. But
right here on the back, it says age 4 years.
4 years.
So this is actually
so
age-
4 to 10. Yeah, 4 to 10.
Okay.
So I mean, well, it's a newer one, right? So it doesn't have as much maturity. So I'm excited to taste it, and let's see if.
And I wonder the question too, like if it's 4 years versus 7 years, does that take away from what the proof is? Does it lower its proof during the aging process, or is that just all about how much they mix in?
Well, it could tame it down.
I feel like a stupid question, but
No.
I don't know.
I don't think it's
Sounds like
stupid.
a good question.
Thanks. Thanks.
Who was that?
Oh, it's the voice of young Sean Casto, the man behind.
Sean has a microphone now,
Yes,
and you're
we've
going to
given him a
hear
mic.
It'll be a
everybody.
pivotal role in this episode.
Yeah. Well, not too much though. Right? Have y'all ever seen the movie The Other Guys?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. Well, you remember when they gave Will Ferrell the wooden pistol because he did the desk pop? Don't do a desk pop.
Desk pop.
Yeah. All right.
So with the French oak barrels, it's going to give a little bit more fruitiness. It's going to give a little bit more sweetness.
Okay.
But with the 4 years, I'm worried, could it be a little too harsh and not
Too
as
alcohol,
smooth?
like more alcoholic.
Because the ones that were like the 8 to 10 years were a lot smoother to us.
Dude,
Both.
all I know is that Penelope, the other one was crazy smooth, and it got a second show, right? Was that one of the dealer's choices?
Yes, we've gone back to it. Yes.
Yeah, we got to smell it. Smells freaking.
Little hint of citrus.
Little hint of spices.
Ready?
That doesn't drink like a 104.
No, it's not as harsh. I think there's a little bit of harshness though, being that it is the 4 year. I think that's proof.
That's definitely like I get
know what I
that.
mean?
And that's quick. That part of it's quick.
It kind of
But
fades.
It fades, but
Yeah.
it doesn't drink like a 104. If
Yeah.
that makes sense. It drinks more like a 90. More like
Yeah. It's definitely closer to it's closer to like an Eagle Rare than it is a Booker's, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Drink it in. It always goes down smooth.
It really does. I like it.
It's a little smoky too.
It's smoky and I don't understand the French barrel cast versus, what does that? Does that mean? It's
I mean, everything that I've seen, if it's a more of a French oak,
Very
it's
smoky
It's a
after.
it's a lighter oak, and it's more like you get more citrus, like grapes and stuff like that.
very smoky right now after.
Well, on the finish.
Well,
Yeah,
even after
yeah.
after a minute,
Oh, just
of it,
lingering.
lingering around.
Yeah.
You got that oaky deal. I was going to say wood, but
Pause.
Aftertones.
But it also it has a little bit of lingering heat, but I don't mind it.
I don't mind it. It's
You know
not.
what I mean? It's not
It's not
overpowering.
overbearing, right?
There you go. I'm on the same page.
Well, cheers, man. I'm glad to get a little bit of this in us. This is nice.
Yeah, little curveball. What do you think on a neat pour? What would you say 1 to 10?
On a neat pour, I'm going to give that a 6, 7, maybe a 6 or 7.
I was going to go 6.5, so
Yeah.
I'll split your difference.
Yeah, I mean it's not horrible by any means. If it would not be my first pick, right?
No, and of course, on ice, maybe it's going to be.
We'll see in a little bit.
it'll
We're
cut it
throwing a cube in there. Ladies and gentlemen, we have another kind of more of a fun episode here. A little bit more of us going back and forth on some issues, on some debates.
Yes.
Basically, it's us debating certain topics where we pick a topic and I'm either for it or against it,
Yep.
right? And then obviously whatever I'm for, he's against, vice versa. And we're going to go, 3 and 3, and we're going to just see what happens, right?
Yeah.
Now, the main thing about this that I like is that we did research these things, of course. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I spent quite some time doing it. But when you
Yeah, that's a lot of
when you-
of chicken scratch right there.
When you actually, my handwriting's way better than yours. When you actually do a little bit of research and you deep dive into certain things,
Yeah.
we can have the conversation and say, do you like blue or do you like yellow? That's
Yeah.
different. That's just some real surface bullshit. But
Mm-hmm.
the questions that are the things that we're going to be debating here, I think are they're strong. I mean, they're things that I think everybody has thought about before. I think that I think you could go either way on any of these topics. Just so you know,
I don't know. I think once people hear my argument, they're going to be in favor of what I have to say.
you hear them.
That's all I'm saying.
Argument.
what I'm saying.
We're debated over here on the
It's
sophisticated
an
side.
argument.
Okay?
It's an argument. This is a duel.
All right.
No, so the cool thing about this is there is a curveball, right? So we're going to have 2 minutes per person on each issue. So issue number 1, for, against, 2 minutes each. At the end of the show, when you guys watch it, you'll be able to poll. We're going to have a poll. You'll be able to say who won.
Right.
But there's 4
What? Go ahead, bud.
there's 4 topics that we do not know. Lovely Sean over here with the microphone.
Sean Casto.
Sean Casto.
Mic check.
Closer and closer, bud.
This might be the
needle?
last episode.
The needle. Full is over here. Yoop. All right. And listen, and listen, I might not have to go 2 minutes full of a word salad.
That
just to
wouldn't be
beat
the
you on
first
something.
time.
Okay. All right. All right.
So there's four additional topics that Sean is going to surprise us with and let us know for or against or whatever it is, left side, right side.
All right.
And we will figure that out as you figure it out as we're doing this.
All right.
we don't know about
here
it.
we go. So we're going to do this. We're going to go, Jason's first, then mine's second, then Jay. All right. And so I think because it's your debate, your topic of debate, all right, that you go first.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm just gonna say what the topic is, and then when it comes up to mine, you say what the topic is. Fair?
Yeah.
Is that okay? I don't want to
Does everybody
overcomplicate.
agree with that? I mean, because it sounds kind of confusing. Okay. So, all right. So what's topic number 1 that we're debating?
All right. Is suffering necessary for personal growth and development?
Did y'all hear that?
Is suffering necessary for personal growth and development? Okay.
Okay. Sean, tell me one time.
Okay.
Yeah, your mic freaking
Yeah, I mean,
Dial's
this
going
is
down, buddy.
exactly what-
And go.
All right. Yes, absolutely. Suffering is necessary for personal growth and development. You have to understand and what it means to have loved and lost. You have to understand and know what it is to have something or not have something and struggle. Growing up, struggling, growing up, maybe less fortunate, growing up without things, growing up without a parent, you learn things on how to be better. There could be some things that happen along the way, but at the same time, you're going to be better for it. I've seen people grow up perfect life. They face a struggle in their adult years and they crumble because they haven't had the foundation of what it is to grow themselves as a human being, of what life does for you. Also, a realization of who and what is truly important. When you don't have certain things, you learn to make do, and you realize that not everything we have is necessary. And you can be happy with $1. So if you end up having $1 million, you're going to be even happier. You know what I mean? Also, the resiliency of comeback, of being able to get knocked down and go through personal struggle, breakups, losses, divorces, the loss of a friend, a child, a family member, and to be able to come back, bounce back, beat addiction, beat those struggles, beat those demons, and then come back harder, better, faster, stronger. There's songs about it. You need it to grow. Resiliency is the name of the game in life.
I don't even know if I've got anything for that, right? Yeah. I want to tell you something that you nailed
You
that.
still have 20 seconds.
All right, no, it's done.
I'm done.
You nailed that. Cheers to that. And I love it. I really, really do. Okay.
Jimmy,
Yeah.
ready
Well,
for the clock to
I
start?
know I know that you are a strong debater.
Yeah. I mean,
So I had to come with something round one.
So
Ready, start.
yeah. So I think suffering is not a must for someone to learn. I don't think you have to suffer in order to learn. I think to suffer is gonna happen. It's gonna happen to any and everybody in any facet of your life. You touched on a lot of good things there before about being low income families, missing parents, one or both, loss of people, and I get that. But at the same time, it's your choice to walk down that path and suffer from it. Right now, DMX said something that I thought was phenomenal, and he said, "To live is to suffer, but to survive is to find meaning in the suffering." Right?
Beautiful.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that he's found growth from the suffering or found development from the suffering. Maybe certain people are so addicted to the oh man, some people have the I shot the bigger, deer, caught the bigger fish. Other people want to tell you how fucking bad their life is, and they suffer, and they this, that, and the third. And I think that it's one of those things where it's self-induced, and I think that you have to suffer to learn some things. You have to suffer to understand that it really sucks to be broke. It really sucks to lose out on a relationship for making bad decisions, right? But at the same time, that was a choice that you made to follow your feet there. And I don't think that you have to suffer in order to really, really grow, right? I don't think so. But I think that a lot of your points were phenomenal.
Yeah. No, I
Fair?
like the twist you put on that.
There you go.
Okay.
All right.
You each had the same amount of time.
Sorry. Yeah, I like it. Right.
Awesome. All right.
Sorry. Hello. Sorry. What the fuck? All right, go ahead. Okay.
All right, James Bass.
Yes, sir.
Topic number 2. And to me, I think topic number 2, what I had was, should step parents be able to physically discipline children of their now spouse, or is that right?
Yeah. I'm going to tell you something. No.
No.
I don't think for 1 second that a step parent should be able to physically discipline a child that is not of their own blood.
Why not?
Okay. Now, number one, because it's not your own blood. It's not your child. Okay. You're putting your hands on something that doesn't belong to you. Okay. Now, yes, you might be providing a roof over their head. You might be the partner to their parent that is going to be there regardless if you like it or not. But the reality of it is, if it's me, and I think about someone else putting their hands on my kid, he or she is just the same as a stranger out on the street. And I know that that's kind of a weak argument, but the only way that this would be okay, the only way it would be okay is if that child was from infancy with other said partner, right? Mine is more of, these are, 8-year-old kid, 5-year-old kid, 10-year-old kid, whatever it is, moving into a split family, joint family, whatever like that. I don't think it's okay for them to do that. Do I think they should be able to discipline and verbally do their thing? Yeah, of course. You're the adult. But don't put your fucking hand on that kid.
Gotcha.
That's me.
Okay.
Horrible. Wasn't a great way for me to go at it because I wanted to get so violent there. I wanted to get so violent there.
You're about to hit the step parent.
You're not the step parent.
I'm not the step parent. Why
You're my brother.
Me? I'm not the step parent.
Anyway, that's the way I feel. No offense to you step parents out there, but keep your hands to yourself, right? Before you end up seeing somebody like me peeking through your window
with a bat.
All right.
Go ahead. Done? All right.
You're under time.
Tell me when.
Yeah. Go.
You're good. Go.
All right. So I took a little bit of a twist on this one. I say they should be able to, but here's the thing. The question for me is, should parents be physically disciplined at all?
Hell yes.
Any parent. Hold on, man. This is my time.
My bad.
So I would say that there's an argument with that if you can truly discipline a child, teach them right from wrong, do you truly have to physically discipline at all? If you were going to, then what about in situations where the step parent is the only parent now?
That's it. Yeah, that's a good.
What if they get together and then the original parent passes away and they are the only one now raising said child from 4, 5, 6 years old
Look at old bleeding heart Jason Brewell.
Absolutely. What about the real dads where the moms run off, or a stepdad who moms run off, or the other way around?
Yeah, I mean those are all very, very good points.
What about if the step parent is more of the disciplinarian and the other one is a lot more verbal or scared to do that, and that something needs to be done? I mean,
So he walks in, takes his belt off, throws his beer at the kid, and hits him.
I don't really care for that. Or what if that parent's been there since day one? So that parent only knows step parent and other parent, you know what I mean, from day one. So those are my arguments towards where they can. But I would plead. Now listen, we raised boys. And we disciplined said boys when they needed to be disciplined.
Yeah.
Okay. So if real fathers are out there doing their real freaking jobs, there's not going to be a lot of step parents in there doing their stuff.
Facts only.
Yeah, because a lot of women are not going to do a discipline on a boy anyway. So we're talking about more dudes in this situation. So real dads, step up and do your real freaking job.
Step up to the plate. My mom did bust me up though. And I've suffered from it, Mom.
I remember getting backhanded in the car. That's the last time I said those words. Okay, done. All right. Next topic.
Good. All right. Here we go. You ready?
Oh, I'm ready for this one.
Are you?
Yes, sir.
I'm pumped. All right.
Yes, sir.
Should vaccines be mandatory?
And go.
Jason Bridwell said, should vaccines be mandatory?
Absolutely not. The autism rates in the United States right now are 1 in 36, right? In the world, it's 1 in 100. These have gone up exponentially in the last 20, 30, 40 years. The CDC, the vaccination schedule for infants between 0 and 12 months, in 1986, they only took 5 vaccinations. Guess what it is right now? I'll let you know, 33. In all of these vaccinations and vaccines, they're finding horrible traces of violent and attacking metals, mercury, formaldehyde, chemicals, aluminum, which is horrible for the human body. Right. There's been a rise in diabetes. There's been a rise in SIDS. There's been a rise in infant death. Since COVID, now there's 2 more vaccinations that a newborn has to take between 0 and 12 months. The COVID vaccine and the flu shot. Bullshit. We should all have, I'm not saying not to take some of them. If you want to take all of them, by all means do it. But also none of the 72 vaccines that they have out there have ever been tested against a placebo. They've been mandated, but never tested against a placebo. We've had an epidemic of autism, ADHD. It's horrible. You should have the right to choose, period. And if you don't want to do it, you shouldn't be ridiculed, ostracized, or have to go through all kinds of different steps to get your kids in school or in athletic leagues, period.
No, I get that, man. I get that. All right. So like, you know, when you look at it, DTaP, PCV, polio, Hib, Hep B, all these different vaccinations, all right, all these things that some of them are, this is what I really want to say. Before COVID-19 even came around, was anybody ever even talking about vaccines the way they're talking about it now? And they're saying that they shouldn't be mandatory or people shouldn't be doing the vaccines. All I know is growing up, my entire 43 years of living, I've never heard anybody ever bitch, complain, or say anything about vaccines until the COVID-19 thing came around. And let me tell you about COVID-19 vaccines. I think they're bullshit too, and I'm only glad that I did the first round of them, right? Mm-hmm. But whenever we look back and saying that there's an increase in diabetes, there's an increase in all these different kinds of ailments that can happen. These things happen since day one of human history, right? So let me tell you something about placebos or anything else like that. What if you don't take, show me a baby, full grown ass man now that never took a vaccine and show me what he looks like, okay? Show me what she looks like. They don't exist, okay? And if they do exist, it might be in the Mormon world. And that's probably why they live till they're 150 years old, right? So
Thanks for proving my point.
You know, but my point of it is, though, for real, is that nobody really knows that, right? Mm-hmm. And my thing is, at the end of the day, I don't think that you should have to take 33 vaccines. I don't think you should. I know for a fact that you should take the polio one. You should take the ones that help these kids fight off or create some sort of immunity toward things that are going to attack them, whether that's through liquid, through breath, through blood transfusion, whatever the fuck it is, right? But I don't think that we're even educated closely enough to say that we shouldn't take vaccines. That's wild to me, right? And at the end of the day, that's my take on it, right?
Okay.
Does it make sense?
Yeah. Well, there's doctors out there who have a lightened schedule, right? To where it's like, okay, out of all these vaccines, you need to really only take like these 6 and do them at these times, not all at once, and things like that.
So what's mandatory and what's not? That's where we're going at. So what you can go to one doctor.
I'm saying if you go, we're searching for pediatric doctors. Mm-hmm. There are tons of them who will not see your child unless you're taking all 33 vaccines. Yeah, well, period.
They're trying to protect their practice.
They're trying to get paid.
No, it's not all about being paid.
Hold on, babe. They are paid. They are paid by the drug companies to offer these vaccines. It is proven, factual. You can look it up. I mean, the more vaccines they give, the more they get kickbacks from the drug
I got
companies.
it. So maybe they make a little extra cheddar from it, but I don't think that's all that it's about. And I do want to point out that you called me babe before you started doing your deal.
Yeah.
All right, come on, babe. Hey,
all right, whatever.
We'll have one up top.
All right, so
let's go.
Topic number 4. All right. Is scientific funding money well spent? James, tell him when he's ready.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, man. This is really what I think, right? So the U.S. is the number one in spending monies from the federal government and businesses, right? That up to $806 billion fucking dollars, okay, of money, okay, okay. Next to it is China at 668 something billions and billions of dollars.
Everybody knows it's billions of dollars.
It's so, a business is a business, right? Let's talk about this real quick. I'm in a business where hundreds of thousands of dollars are at risk, right? I'm in a business where maybe $500,000 is at risk at any given point during the month, right? It doesn't matter what the scale is on the calculator. Billions, millions, hundreds, whatever like that. The metrics are what the metrics are, okay? I think it's insane that we spend the amount of money we do on things that we have no earthly idea what these guys are doing in these lab coats and these sealed up spots. What are they doing? Why are they doing it? Why is the government spending $800 billion on them to figure out how to, fucking hype up the next sunscreen coming out or whatever kind of bullshit they're doing or whatever kind of Martians that they're growing down there? I don't know. What are they doing with all that money? Why are we in so much of a deficit, but yet we'll pay these scientists to go? Now, I think for medicine, I think for technology, I think for all those kind of things, agriculture, I think that's good money well spent. But I don't think that even 15% of that I think that's all I think most of the money that we spend are on these things like, can we do this? Can we create this? And while America is fucking suffering, dude, have you seen California? Not the fires and all that kind of stuff, but not even just California.
Time.
Oh, like no.
You done? So yeah. All right. So he was a no on that one. I'm a yes, and it's kind of funny because we both are basically going to say the same thing. My yes is in principle only. I do feel like that there's a whole bunch of money funneled into these projects, that are going nowhere. Like, why does the North American red-breasted hen house swallow fly to Sheboygan every year? I don't know why. It was $6.8 million grant. Anyways, but think about this though. Think about the scientific research that was used and money that was spent towards creating electricity, creating the automobile, creating the airplane, creating fire, creating concrete.
Got 'em.
For God's sakes.
Got it.
Science. There are things like penicillin. Penicillin has saved a bunch of y'all. You know who I'm talking
Penicillin's,
about.
yeah, but we already got it. Sorry, my bad. I don't want to mess your
We
time
don't
up.
already have it. It was created and funded and researched by scientists, and they figured out how to figure out what it is and how to use it.
I think a bunch of guys doing mushrooms figured it out.
Possibly. That's psilocybin. But DNA research that's helped in medicine, helped in forensics, radioactivity with drug imaging and radiation and X-rays, insulin. That is another, technology that was, money well spent. How about the Doppler radar?
God.
Scientific research that now they can predict storms that help save millions and millions and millions.
I'm talking about now.
Check. All right, there we go. So next topic. I'm done with that.
Next topic. Yeah.
All right. So this is on. This is my topic.
Yeah, do you mind if I say it? Or
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Louise.
Just trying to figure out where we're at.
All right, gotcha. So the next topic is about children, homeschooled or traditional school.
Homeschooled. All right, so I'm
Cannot
a yes.
wait to bust your ass.
I know. I am a homeschool on this one. We're researching it now for young little Micah coming out, but specialized curriculum is the biggest thing. Specialized curriculum to where they're actually learning things that they are going to use in life instead of the nonsense, watered down public school education that we are all fed at the same time while they're feeding us unhealthy foods with teachers who are underqualified in a babysitting environment where they're paid to pass your ass. They're not paid to teach you anything. So the curriculum, there's homesteading schools, there's farm schools where kids learn how to tend to livestock and grow food and things that will help them just become better human beings. There's more time also. I mean, they have a certain amount of work that they need to get done in the week. And if they get it done within 3 days, well, guess what? They got 2 days to do what? They got 2 days to work. They got 2 days to help on the farm. They got 2 days to help around the house. They got 2 days to go explore and research and study things that they want to study, things that are actually they're actually gonna learn from. You can do it anywhere. If you're traveling on the road and live in a van down by the river, you can do homeschool there. We got in the schools, we got crime, we got bullies, we got horrible teachers, early mornings, poor nutrition, and just a plethora of shite.
Okay.
That's hurting our kids right now, James. Right now.
All right, gotcha.
30 seconds left.
I got 30 seconds left. I'm just going to sit here and marinate in that.
You're just gonna sit there.
I'm just gonna
just watch Jimmy simmer
and marinate in that victory.
Listen.
We should have choices. Maybe it's not right for you, but at the same time, social interaction is going to be an argument that he's going to say. And what
That's
I'm telling you,
just
listen to this. Social interaction. There are co-op homeschools with multiple kids where you can actually go and get that social interaction. And there's athletic places where they can go and play sports as well.
Time. Jeez Louise. Okay. Social awkwardness, unlikely to be able to interact in individual or or as an individual or anything in any
slander.
activities. No, look, like absolutely sheltered, absolutely unaware, absolute selfish parenting tactics, scared parenting tactics. Let me tell you what's going to happen. Okay, you're gonna walk up to a kid that's been sheltered, homeschooled, doesn't have enough freaking vitamin D from going outside in the sun because they just don't know what to do unless mom and dad tell me it's okay to do it. And then to go and tell me about these farming spots that they can go to, that's not a homeschool. That's if you own a farm and you want to teach your kid how to be a freaking farming and farmer. We're talking about homeschool, baby. We're talking about in the van down by the river.
That is homeschool.
Yeah.
It's homeschooling away from a public school.
Yeah, but then if you take homeschool and then you combine all these co-op families and doing all this this bullshit, no, man, it's absolute absurd. Type of thought processes. Think about this: the schooling system and how horrible the teachers are. Okay, well, they pay more than a fucking bus driver makes. No offense to the bus drivers, but and also think about this: how do you have 35 kids in one class for one individual to try to maintain and teach and do this?
Thanks for
right?
proving my point.
That's not a point.
Homeschool.
Your kid is not going to be able to go up and have a conversation with anybody. They're going to be nervous and scared, right? And they're going to be underdeveloped mentally to be able to handle anything that requires them to be around more than 2 or 3 people of their own familiarity. Like, don't cut me off.
I'm not.
I
Go
get
ahead.
extra 20 seconds.
Go ahead.
Okay?
But
Sugar
listen,
nuts.
Here's the deal.
Right?
Here's the deal.
Fair debate.
Huh?
What?
We need a fair debate. No interrupting.
Okay.
All right. Your meter went
he
back
done
up a
yet?
little bit.
Anyway.
Oh, fuck. Your meter went back down.
Prove it. Are you done?
Here's
Is it done? Time's done?
Yeah, it was at a minute 50 when I said that.
Okay,
Yeah, so
go
he
ahead.
fucked it up.
Finish your last point.
No, I'm not. Here's the last point, though. And it's what he said as well, because he knew I was going to throw it at him. You cannot survive out here, I think, with being socially awkward and not understanding how to survive out here. There is a primal instinct that you have to understand that your kids develop away from home. They develop it out in the world, out in school. That's where they learn how to freaking fend for themselves. Okay? What happens when they go and walk up and some jackass, when he's 15, he's never experienced this before, comes up and says, "Hey, fat ass," or "Hey, blah, blah, blah," or shoves him or does whatever like that? Is kid gonna know how to defend himself? Is he gonna shell up and go home and tell mommy and daddy?
I mean, there's a lot of people who've never gotten a fight in their life. I mean,
That's fine, and there's nothing against that.
It's proven fact that homeschool kids outshine public school kids in all testing regiments and all testing.
I would imagine
like
so,
this.
especially when their parents are over there with a big fucking chalkboard saying it's A, the next one's C.
Okay.
You know what? I'll take the rest of you.
Okay, all right. Well, let's move
There's
on.
no proven
Agree
fact.
It is.
And we're not going
it is
to agree
proven
to
fact.
disagree.
It is proven fact. I got a
We're not
stat.
gonna-
Hold on.
Oh.
You want me to tell you? All right. I'm glad we're. hold on,
fuck
hold on.
that.
I'm glad we're
Statistics.
going. I'm glad we're going into the next topic. I'm glad because I'm gonna slam it home on this one.
Oh, wow.
All right. So next one. Are teachers underpaid? Let's go right from homeschool versus public school to our teachers underpaid. Jimmy, you are a yes or no?
Yes, they're underpaid.
Tell me why.
All right, they're underpaid. I think 1,000% of this. Okay, do I think that teachers that have a tenure of 5-10 years or more teaching, they deserve more money? Teachers that are teaching outside of elementary, I don't think elementary school teachers that are teaching 1 + 1 = 2 deserve the same amount of money as a 11th grade calculus fucking teacher. Okay, I think that calculus teacher deserves a little bit more cheddar for doing that. Okay, do I think that when they're the ones that are actually here trying to teach, develop, and train our kids to be more consciously aware and smart in what they're doing, doing English class and science and all this kind of stuff is not really about what's inside those books. It's about being able to understand what's being taught to them, to be able to regurgitate some of their own thoughts or what the answers are to it, and to really, really have somebody they believe in and they're interested in. These teachers, if they're getting underpaid and they're not getting any kind of recognition for it, they're going to give you what they're getting, and that's not fair. That's not fair in some cases, but I know school teachers right now that all they give a crap about is doing that. On their off time, they're just trying to help kids that are underperforming, and they're literally taking their time away from their free time that they're not getting paid for to help these kids learn. I think they deserve more money. I think it's bullshit. Somebody said one time that they only work 10 out of 12 months. So they should only get paid 10 out of 12 months. Okay, cool, fair. If that's the best you got, then that's great. Whatever. But that's bullshit too. Okay. I've been a coach for a lot of years, coaching soccer. I couldn't imagine having to stick to a curriculum and deal with being underpaid the way they are. And not being able to afford a real substantial life. That's just me.
And time.
Okay. All right. So let me touch on a couple of topics here.
This bourbon is good.
I'm a no. My mom was a school teacher. Let me preface by saying my mom was a school teacher. No, she wasn't paid
Russ?
enough. But here's the deal: the poverty threshold in this country is $16,000. The average teacher in America gets paid $60,000. In North Carolina, where we're sitting at right now, it's $57,700. To argue your point, I think a teacher who is teaching kids in first and second grade deserves a lot more than a calculus teacher in 11th grade. Here's the thing, because you don't use calculus in life. You don't use it.
God.
You hold up, man. You learn half of what you learn in life in your first 5 years. So 6, 7 years old in first and second grade is absolutely so much more viable and important to you than an 11th grade calculus class. The school system flat out is watered down. They are paid to pass kids. They're not paid based on education. They're not paid on what those kids learn. They're paid on how they test. Period. Babysitters get paid $15 an hour. That's basically what they are. Now listen, there are teachers out there who deserve everything that they get. There are good teachers out there. I know that. But they also, it's been proven in a lot of ways that not all teachers or not all students learn the same way. So you have 20 kids in a class. You said it. There's 25 kids in a class. How are they supposed to teach? Well, that's the problem.
Right.
You know, that's one of the problems. In a homeschooling atmosphere, you're getting 5 to 10, maybe at most, if you're going to a co-op, to where you can truly take a one-on-one approach more so than this. Would you rather go to a college where it's 14-to-1 class size or 200-to-1? You get better education at the 14-to-1. Promise. The test scores prove it.
The what do?
The test scores will prove it.
The what do? Test scores? All right, go.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, I mean, at the same time, like a Montessori school that allows kids to learn at their own pace, allows kids to learn hands-on instead of reading out of a textbook.
Time.
Okay.
All right, hey, so I just do want to say this. No, fuck that. I just want to say this, okay? They are paid to pass tests. They're paid to get the kids to pass tests. That's like saying a basketball coach is paid to win games. It's the same fucking thing. Why would they? What else would they get paid for? They're paid to teach kids how to pass the fucking test. What debate is that?
I said what I said.
Okay, listen.
Can I tell you something? They're paid for the good. Oh, hold on.
No.
If you got a final point, then let me give my final point. All right, 35%.
So uninterrupted 2 minutes, sir.
I don't care. 35% of fourth graders nationwide are reading at their grade level. 35%. 36% of eighth graders are reading at their grade level. Overall, from kindergarten to 12th grade, overall, 30% of kids are reading at their grade level. Tell your teachers to do better.
Well, it could be that, or it could be tell the parents to do better. Shawnee, we're going to cut it to 2 at the end.
I agree with you.
You're going with 2.
Now let's do 4 1 minute apiece.
All right, because I'm about
45 minutes in.
I'm about to rip his head off.
I got you.
Give me some ice. Do me a favor. Do me a favor. Go look at. Look at that ice
we
box.
Got a second. Oh yeah, we had a second.
Do me a favor. There's no debate on this.
Ooh,
There's no debate on this.
I got him. I got him riled up. Yeah.
You're not the boss of me.
I got him right where I want him.
Hey, Shawnee, look in that ice box right behind you with the Two Poor Podcast sticker on it. Grab us some ice cubes out of here. What I do want to say though, in this little intermission here, going from what we're doing,
who won? Take it.
I really enjoyed that, and I
did too. You had a couple of good points.
I enjoyed that. No, likewise, yeah. I enjoyed it, and I think the funniest part of this is where there's that beginning phase, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, and then it's in the metal bowl with the ice in it,
the big ass metal bowl, Sean.
Yeah. You might end up in that freaking freezer if you don't get that ice. If you don't get that ice.
That says ice on the bowl. For the love of Christ.
God bless him and his infinite wisdom.
Dude, I love those ice cubes.
That's great, isn't it? Thanks,
top.
Ashley.
That is top.
Shawnee, you can throw them back in there.
I think that's on the table now.
No, throw that back in the.
Yeah, that's please.
Yeah,
sir.
you're about to get your microphone taken away
please and
forever
thank you.
talking about. Did you just talk back to me with a grade of volume? Right.
He's joining in on this debate.
So, Bird,
Yo,
I think that one thing that is missing from, and it's not missing from everywhere. We're only speaking for us two, is to be able to confidently and proactively debate on things that don't resort to fuck you, or don't resort to get out, or don't resort to you're an idiot, or you're stupid, or you
for sure. Yeah,
and that's
yeah,
that's one of the things that I think is really, really failing in today's society and everything like that, is because everything always goes back to you're an idiot, you're stupid, you're dumb, right, and usually it's the people that lose the debates are uneducated.
It's emotional maturity,
right? And
that's what it is.
It's like your go-to word, like in hip hop type shit. You hear people that freestyle and man, I'm motherfucking my motherfucker, and they go back to this go-to word because it's just some safe space. And what they don't understand is that it's very unsafe to live in that very small cube of a world where you can't understand that you're wrong sometimes, dude.
We've talked about this ever since you started doing music, where we both agreed the moment you start cussing is the moment you lose like your emotional IQ quotient, your mental quotient.
What's the shit you said before? You said to use a cuss word.
I mean, just
is for uneducated
people,
because you're not smart enough to
come up with something else. Yeah. So here's the thing too. Like, so Sarah and I had a conversation last night. We were eating dinner and we were about to watch an episode of something on Netflix.
Right.
And we didn't do it. And we'll do this. I mean, we'll with Christian downstairs or whatever like that. We won't turn on a TV or anything, and we'll just sit there and talk. And we had an hour and a half conversation about the most enlightening, deep conversation, meaningful, that increased that one conversation increased our connection.
Good. And it should.
That's what we need more of. We need more of these conversations and more of these debates. But I'm not getting soft. We got 4 more topics.
Yeah. Let's go
so
for
what's up, Sean?
You got 4?
1 minute apiece.
1 minute apiece. Okay.
Just 1 minute.
Uninterrupted.
Yeah.
We got some good ones.
Did you hear that?
Player.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. The thumping in my ear. Listen.
So first one.
Topic, and then you tell who is what, and then give it to them.
Mm-hmm. Does this remind you of like 30 years ago?
Yeah.
Does that remind you of 30 years ago?
We were playing like Nintendo, and then we get out there and just start beating the shit out of each other.
Should sex work be legal? And we're going to say Jimmy is for, Jason's against.
Thank you. And go.
You're on the clock,
Thoughts?
Jimmy.
Yes, I think it should be legal because people should have the ability to express themselves. I don't want to say it in my own voice, right? They should be able to do it. They should have freedom of their own will and freedom of their own body, and as long as it is protected, and as long as it is not for a profit, I don't know, or demonization of
voluntary,
of taking advantage of. There's so many dark places and webs in there that it's so scary for me to even advocate this shit, Sean. Shoot, you went back down again, bud. Is that a minute? Boom, you're up.
5 seconds.
I'm gonna say no, simply for the fact of like, listen, I am pro capitalism. If you have a product that you want to sell and you have a way to sell it, and especially something like this, if it's regulated, then it possibly could work. But that's a good idea. You go to Colorado and you look at the population there now since they legalized weed, and it's a ton of homeless, a ton of crime. There's more harder drugs in there because those same drug dealers now have to have a different product to compete with the legal weed because they can't. So now they're putting fentanyl in weed, and people are dying and getting super high and paralyzed. So the idea of like, hey, if a guy's going to get it, he doesn't have to break the law. He can go to a place and do
Right.
that, or a woman can do that, or a couple can do that, then cool in theory, but it's not theory, it's real life. So I'm saying absolutely no to that. We don't need that in America.
That boy. All right, can't wait for the next one.
I know. That was
We're
starting
going
off
to
so
the
great.
adverse of that since, Jason, you already touched on it. Should all drugs be legal? And Jason, we're going to say yes to you.
Okay.
And then Jimmy, obviously adverse.
Okay. When I'm on the clock.
And go.
Oh, we're going.
All right, so first degree that I had was in criminal justice, and one of my classes that I took was picking a topic that was highly debated from the start to the finish of class. And you had to write a massive 20,000 word paper and have a 20
Good
minutes.
God.
I had to have a 10-minute, 15-minute speaking part about it. It is a yes for me in theory now. After seeing what it's done, I don't know, but it does lead to a ton of tax benefits for the country. It leads to a ton of new revenue streams.
Yeah.
It leads to a lot of jobs. It leads to college classes on how to grow it and how to and business and things like that. I say if done correctly, and the federal government needs to get in line and allow these people to have legalized bank accounts and a better network. So yes, I'm absolutely in favor of it because it does take that out of the illegal. We have too many people in jail right now for miscellaneous crimes with weed serving years just because
Thanks,
of the
Kamala.
prisons.
I'd love to keep you going, but that's a minute.
There we go. All right. Fucking curveball. Just like anything else, things can get watered down in high production, right? Just the same as some of these larger bourbon companies swallow up some of the smaller bourbon companies and they mass produce it and they lose the effect that it gets on the distillant process that they have. There's the same thing when you have these drugs that are legalized. That they're like, okay, well, if we cut the corner here and cut the corner there, but they still get a little bit of a whatever kind of sensation they're supposed to get out of it. Really, what we're doing is monetizing off of people who could have considerable problems from the intake of these drugs that are now legal. You know, I think that some of the things in the past where they're treating soldiers with PTSD with psilocybin and Molly and stuff like that is good, right? But it's good in the confines of something that is supported through a testing lab, not just, hey, here you go to the supermarket. Yeah, you want some of this? Have this. And then go wander around. And anyway, I went over my time.
No, I agree on the synthetic part of that. Yeah. I don't agree with that.
it's
Now
scary,
you're not
dude.
talking about weed.
Yeah.
Now you're talking about chemicals.
Yeah.
That's like GMOs and other bullshit.
What do you got, man? What do you got?
It's on Jimmy, right?
Okay. Should there be a cap on the number of children allowed to be had by parents?
Who's who?
And Jimmy, you're for. Jason, you're against.
Should there be a cap? I'm for it, like yes or like no.
You think you should have a limited amount of children?
Yeah, I do. I think it's insane when you look at. Now, I'm a father of four. Man, don't get it twisted, man. I'm a father of four. It's a lot of kids, and we've had to work very hard to take care of these kids, and it wasn't all on our own. We had the help of my mother, on certain things. I'm not ashamed to say it because I'll do the same thing for my kids. But when you walk into a place and you see a family walk in and they've got 7 kids that all look bummy and they're not groomed well, they're not clean and all that kind of stuff, and they're walking into a place to eat a bunch of hamburgers and shit and eat a filthy diet, I think it's completely something that is not something you shouldn't tolerate. It's being irresponsible. It's being irresponsible to have that many children, that many mouths to feed. I think that it will turn out having more kids that are they don't have the love that they should have gotten, so they find it elsewhere. And a lot of times they find it in bad places.
And probably in public school and not reading at their current grade level. All right.
Have a sip of that with ice. Have a sip of that with
I have.
ice.
It's
on
good.
You haven't. I've watched you.
It definitely cuts it.
I've watched you. You haven't had a sip yet. They've watched you. You haven't had a sip yet.
Good point. So where
Have a sip of it.
Give me 2 seconds here.
All right. So Bridwell's going to tell you why you should have 500 kids and homeschool all the fucking morons and homeschool all these dummies.
So my argument is, I think that James will agree with me when I say this, is a lot of the problems that we have now and a lot of the triumphs that we have now start from the home.
Come on.
They're not at a public school or a homeschool or at the workplace or in a church. The most successful people are grown from a successful home.
Agreed.
So I never am in favor of freedoms being stripped away. It says in the Bible, children are like arrows to the quiver. Blessed is a man whose quiver is filled with arrows.
So what the hell does that mean? No
So
offense.
it means the blessings of children and multiple children is a blessing upon you as a father and a mother.
Yes.
So
Spread your seeds.
But so the thing about it is we should be intelligently having children because we can take care of them, because we can afford them, and because we are in a healthy position to grow them up as the future leaders of America.
Be responsible.
And the world. So be responsible. So no, I don't think freedom should be stripped away, but it should start from the house to raise up however many kids you decide to have that are not a detriment to society. They're a benefit to society.
Nice.
Vote.
God, nice.
Vote Bridwell.
Hey, are we doing shit talking? Look. You're a douche. Now
You
go.
better punch me in the ribs. I know it.
Hey, all right, look.
We got two more
No, that's done.
or one more.
No, we're done. We're
Hold on, that's three. We got one more.
okay.
Last
One
one.
more.
Come on, last one.
And then we go to me.
Yeah, 3-question party shot.
This one
Ripping your
will lead
beard off.
into a future episode. Do we believe in aliens? And we'll say, Jason, you're against. Jimmy, you're for.
And I'm on the clock.
And we're on the clock. Whoever wants to go first.
Jason, you're on the clock.
I would really strike this one from the record because I don't want to take away from what we're going to talk
Strike
about
it.
on the aliens.
It's struck.
Go to the fifth question you were going to have.
All right, we'll pick a different. Are electric vehicles beneficial to the environment?
Ooh, am I pro or against?
And we'll say Jimmy's pro, you're against. Jason's against.
You don't want that, do you? Do you want
Unless
the other way
unless
around?
you can fight the harder.
No.
on the other.
Let me tell you something, buddy. No, we're not going out and worrying about where these little mines are that we can go and freaking have people do slave labor to get all these the different kind of things together.
All right,
to-
can
yeah.
come up with something different?
Cobalt,
Come up one more different.
cobalt
One more different.
mines. Yeah,
He's fighting it. We're good.
yeah. No, I think
No, I
look,
think we're both against
I
it.
think we're both against
speak
it.
on it.
I think it's bullshit. I think
No,
that
pick something different. Come on.
I think it's bullshit. I think it's
Are we
bullshit.
gonna both be? We're going to be.
Yeah, we're
be-
both. I think it's bullshit. This is what I think.
Curveball.
This is what I think. I think that when your eyes are open to things that you never see because your eyes are too glued to TikTok, mine too, not MySpace, Facebook, all these things. You're so glued to what's going on right now. They give you the narrative. They give you what you're supposed to talk about every day. What they don't give you is seeing these poor people in these cobalt mines. That one guy went in there and he escaped with his life. This guy was a reporter and went there and escaped with his life barely by going in there because they figured him out. And these people are stacked on top of each other. It looks like a movie.
Barefoot.
It looks like a movie. You got children, women, you got people crying, you've got people walking around like you see in movies, like, get to work, all this kind of stuff. It's wild. Just so you can drive a Tesla?
Yeah, that you need to charge it with electricity. You need to plug it up to a charging station.
Not just any
that is
charging station.
electricity.
And not just any charging
Baffling.
station. You have to get somebody to come in and put it in to go straight to your box that costs all this kind of money to do it. What?
And they burn off and they cause more radiation in that one unit than like an insane amount of anything else. I don't know. I don't know the actual words. I don't know a ton about this, but I know about the lithium mines too. One of the largest lithium deposits
Where
in
is
the
it?
United States.
Where is it?
Western North Carolina.
What just happened?
Just where the hurricane hit. Oh, and they're trying to get those people out of there.
And they're trying to say, I forgot what the term is or the ruling is. Those people's land is
Eminent
lost.
domain
Eminent domain
is the title.
Okay. Listen.
All right. So
Cheers to something real quick.
Can we cheers to a healthy
and
debate?
I want to tell you something. I want to tell you something else about the Teslas and all that stuff. Get into a Tesla. My fallen homeboy Ghost had one. I used to talk shit to him about it. It's a cool car and everything. But they talk about cell phones and people driving, looking at their cell phones. Have you ever gotten into a Tesla? It's got a 58-inch TV in the center of it. It's the most crazy looking thing I've ever seen.
And it has
Right?
autonomous driving.
Yeah. Like,
So-
come on.
So, all right.
It makes no sense.
So 10 topics. There you go. There will be a poll up. So make sure that you
Pause.
go on there and
Pause. You know?
So make sure that you go on there and vote for your person who you think won the actual event. We all know who that is.
Hey.
So, hey, all right. So 3 questions segment.
We're going to do the 3 questions
now.
segment on this?
Yes, absolutely. All right. And I'm going to be asking you questions. So question number 1, what bothers you the most in today's world? You have a plethora of topics, maybe public school.
Entitlement. Entitlement. People that are so entitled, people that just think that because they think a certain way that you shouldn't be able to act a certain way because this person's in the room, you can't act like that because that person might feel like they're getting maybe called out or, gaslit or any of these things. And so many people are so worried about what's going on around that they're so fuck off. Look, guess what, man? If I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't, baby. Okay?
Yeah.
Come on.
I hear that. All right. Question number 2.
Next.
Question number 2. If you could spend one day as someone you admire, who would it be?
Oh, one day as somebody I admire, who would it be?
Yes.
Man. That's a hard question. One day is somebody I admire. Living, dead, both?
No, living. Right now. Somebody you admire that's living right now, you can step into their life for one day.
Man, I would like to step into the life of Roger Belk. Roger Belk was a service director at a Toyota store for his whole life and was just the most calm, amazing dude who loved the Lord, who loved his family, who loved his fellow man, but he was very, very accountable, and he was very, very transparent on that and saying, look, man, you got to be accountable for what you do. This is who you say you are. So if you say this is who you are, be that. He taught me a lot in my little amount of time with him. I thought he was a very, very extraordinary guy. And you don't see a lot of people who have a tenure like that in a business and
It's a tough business to be in.
And make as much noise as he did. I mean, he literally was that would be it, man. I'd love to see the way people look at, because I remember looking at him like he was just like a superstar. You know what I mean?
You
And
believed everything he said.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
All right. Question number 3. That was a good answer. I thought you'd have picked somebody
miss
a
you,
lot
Roger
more
Bell.
famous, but that was good. Question number 3. What has been your favorite podcast that we've recorded so far?
My favorite one so far, and it's the shortest podcast that we've done, and it's the blind taste testing.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you,
we were humbled.
I'll tell you why, man. Because we were pretty humbled. Mm-hmm. We were so. I know I'm right. I'm 10 feet tall. I'm 2 for 2. I know it right now. I'll bet everything again. I'll bet everything on it. I'm right. I'm gonna make
3 or 4, 3 out of 4 at least.
And then you were
That's
like,
what I thought we were.
yeah, we're gonna get 4 out of 4. I was like, you're 4 out of 4. This is gonna be a wash.
Oh man, I know. That's
But it
bad.
was just so much fun because we during this whole process of podcasting and doing this deal, this is our thing. This is our deal, right? It doesn't matter what happens. It's just us having a conversation, right?
Absolutely.
The thing that's so funny about it is that there was really no direction there. It was just like, take a sip. What do you think it is? Da, da, da. And some of the stuff we said on the side, like you were like, look, man, I need a breather. And he's taking a sip of water. It's like, was that a breather or are you taking a sip of water? But that was fun for me, man. Yeah.
No, it was great.
Yeah.
Man, well, I tell you what, man, every pod has been fun, man.
Yeah, man.
And I love it, bro.
Yeah, likewise.
So it's been a lot of fun. And why don't you take us out with a parting shot?
Man, parting shot, man. I'm going to do the parting shot on this. It's simple, it's plain. I heard it the other day from some crazy ass old man that I follow on social media. His last name's Dana Pena, whatever his name is. He's just a mean old man. But he said the amount of power you have, the amount of potential you have is limitless when you stop caring about what other people think about you. And I took that to heart because I've always cared so much about what people think I look like, sound like. Is he funny? Is he not? Doing music, I'd look at D Shorty and be like, hey man, do you think this verse is good? And he look at me like, dude, I don't fucking know. We haven't even recorded it yet. Like, you don't even believe in yourself, right? to the point where, man, some of my best moments in my life were registered from me not caring about what anybody else's perspective was. I had a job to get done, and that was it. And I think that that's very, very valuable information to me, personally, but to anybody when you think about anything you're up against. Every single day is a different kind of, there's a different list of things that you can do. Now, listen, man, there's some days that you might not want to do anything, and it's okay to get sleep, man. Rest, man. On Sunday, if you don't have anything to do, rest, right? But if you wake up and you say, all right, here's my daily agenda. I'm going to do this, 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 and this. I'm going to check them off. There's a dopamine that you get when you check something off a list. There's something that's so huge that you get out of something so minute as putting a strike through something, right?
Yep.
Stop worrying about what everybody else thinks about you and just get the job done, okay? Now, if you keep on doing what you're doing and people think you suck at it and you suck at it, that's your fault, right?
Yeah.
But if you do what you're doing and you get the job done and you hurt some feelings and you ruffle some feathers, okay, that's going to do one or two things. It's going to strengthen whom you've ruffled said feathers, and it might make them get a little bit thicker skin and understand, hey, man, I need to get busted up every now and again. I need to hit the rocks while I'm falling down every now and again to get bumps and bruises, to understand that it ain't all sweet over
So you
here.
need some struggle
Take the leap.
for that personal growth.
Yeah, you need to struggle for that. I think it really,
Remember to vote.
the parting shot though, really it's about understanding that, yes, you don't want to walk out and just look like a complete moron and barbarian while doing things or while trying to attempt to reach targets and whatever you got to do. However, if you sit and worry about what everybody's thinking all the time, bro, you're not even going to be able to see what's right in front of you, man. And what's right in front of you is the winner's circle. It's the end zone. It's the soccer goal right there with the 30 seconds left in the game to win the World Cup. Right? It's the sell that you have to make in order for you to meet your bonus that is the make or break of you being able to stay in your home or not. There's a lot of things, man, but you got to focus. You got to understand that it's about you. It should be about you. You should have a little bit of selfishness about it's me first. I've got to take care of me first. I got to be able to wake up. I got to be able to be healthy. I've got to be able to show up. I've got to be able to have the wherewithal to get the job done. Right?
Okay.
So stop worrying about what everybody else thinks and get the fucking job done. Okay?
There you go.
Cheers, man.
All right, brother. Another great episode. Thank you for your support. Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook.
We're bringing
Instagram.
MySpace back.
We're bringing MySpace back. AOL email address.
Yeah.
You know what it is. We got some cool things coming. We don't want to jinx anything yet, but stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Please subscribe and share it with one friend.
Man, share it with one. Man,
And
listen.
thank you for everything that you
You know what?
that you do
Yeah,
for us.
you know
and,
what?
and all the comments too. Hey, real quick, Hugo, one of our listeners commented on an idea of a podcast that we should do.
What?
Health of the food in America today.
Health, food in America today, like
Yeah.
nutritional kind of things.
Nutritional.
Hugo.
Or is the food poisoning us? Guess what, Hugo? We're doing an episode on the health of our food in America. So
Hugo.
your topics that you recommend, we're doing for you.
This goes to Hugo. And I got to tell you something else, too. My name's
boy.
Jimmy. My name's Jimmy, James, whatever you want to say, whatever.
Hi, me.
Hugo's a good name. Hugo's a good name, buddy. Hugo's a good name. All right? Hey,
Hugo's a good dude.
but I'm going to tell you this.
Yeah.
I love this shit.
I feel good.
You see us switch it up.
Now,
Dude, that was well needed.
if I ever had a tumbling beat, this is what I do. I was out of Missy Elliott and Bubba too. Even Magoo, I'm used to letting my anger overpower my good mood. Now I'm the painter and the canvas, it's the Carolina blue. Like Bob Ross on the brush, Jimmy Bass on the move. I put together, I go back like Coochie sweater. What you do, I do it better. Still on top like mozzarella. Ooh. I'ma leave the past right right behind me where I left it. Cause we bout to get this function jumping any second.